You're listening to the Watercooler Edit with Chris and Rich.
Hi, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Watercooler Edit with me, Eman and Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yes, it
It's
is.
good to have you back in the host chair as well.
Yes, it is. So obviously, if you haven't already guessed by my outfit, we are going to be discussing things about the new year. It could be the places that we want to go, a little bit about the property market in the UAE itself, and also our personal resolutions. So as I mentioned, we are going to be discussing a little bit about the property market in the UAE. Richard.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about property in the UAE and we add 2024 to the mix, obviously it's going to be projects that have either been announced or are going to be handed over within that year. Is there any project that you are very excited for?
Look, I mean, there's a lot to choose from, right? I mean, there's projects all over the place, potentially handing over in 2024. Some whoppers have been announced. If I had to pick one, I can't. I'm going to go with two.
Okay.
So the first one I'll go with is the Jumeirah Al Marsa Hotel and Residences.
Nice.
Right. I'm going with that because, look, I know it might not seem like the most exciting off.
I think it is. It is quite exciting. A lot of people are waiting for it to launch. A lot of people are waiting to see what it's going to add because, again, it's on that Jumeirah side, right?
That's
essentially Sakem, but it's a very prominent address. And a lot of iconic restaurants and hotels and locations are there. So to actually have new property come into that side of town.
Yeah.
It's
an event, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. And I think I like the idea of it being the third part of a trilogy.
Yes, another nautical theme to Burj Al Arab and
the
again,
JBH.
JBH, yeah.
And this is the third in the trilogy. It's super yacht inspired.
Yes.
So the nautical theme continues.
It continues.
So I'm kind of excited for that, right? I think that's a big deal. I think we're expecting Q4 2024 for that.
Yep.
I think it was changed recently. There was a hope it might be earlier than that, but Q4 2024. So I bet a penthouse sold in there a while back for an absolute
ridiculous
an insane amount of money. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but let's just say it was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. And the thing is, it's one of those developments that has a mix of things, right? So obviously there's going to be the hotel aspect, then there are residences attached to it, like these exclusive penthouses. You're going to be having restaurants, you're going to be having obviously fitness and spa facilities, all of that sort of stuff. So it's kind of tied together in one development.
Yeah, and you're going to have, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, I'm not sure if they've announced the restaurants yet, but there's going to be Michelin-star restaurants.
For sure.
Well, Michelin-star chef restaurants.
Yes.
And potentially Michelin-star restaurants in there, you know?
Yeah.
So, no, I'm looking forward to that. That's my first one. My second one I'll go with is the Mina Al Arab Anatara Resort in Ras Al Khaimah.
Nice.
I've been waiting a while for this one, right? Because this is the kind of big selling point is that it's like the Maldives in the UAE, right? Because it's got the old overwater villas.
Mini islands, that whole sort of Maldivian-inspired sort of architecture.
Maldivian,
and even just
I love that. What a fantastic word that is, Maldivian. I love it. It is. It's completely inspired, and you've obviously seen some images. I've seen some images, and it is. It's pretty. Nice. I mean, it looks very, very nice. And so I'm really keen to see what they've done with that. I think Anatara Resorts in general are pretty special.
Very high caliber, right? Like the quality level there is insane. And the thing is, let's speak about this when it's actually launched, Richard, and we'll have you go because you've actually been to the Maldives. I sadly have not yet.
Yes.
It's pretty up there on my list. It's just that
you need to rectify that situation. That's it. You're gonna get that's got to be like bucket list.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've always thought I think actually there's a stereotype that Maldives is perfect as a honeymoon or a couple destination.
Yeah.
I think you could go there with friends and family as well.
You completely can.
Yeah.
You completely can. When we went this year, it was my first time there, finally achieving like a life's ambition. And I'm definitely going back. There was loads of it wasn't just couples, right? There was families. There was just groups of friends. There was people there on like like a hen weekend and stuff before one of the girls is getting married and all that kind of stuff. And it was, so a completely eclectic mix relationship wise. So it wasn't like just couples, but I know exactly what you mean. It does have that kind of reputation.
So at least one, I will not hold off on that. And two, if I'm not able to go to the Maldives, I can definitely check out the Anantara resort before I go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot closer.
Yes, it's a lot closer. Yeah, it's just a rock. It's like, what, a 2-hour drive max?
Yeah, max, I would think. Yeah. So, I mean, you probably do it in less than that, actually. So, and I'm quite fond of RAK anyway, and there's so much going on down there. You know, we could get, if we said we could do a podcast just dedicated to the new projects coming up in RAK, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So maybe we'll do that in the new year, right?
Yeah, maybe definitely. We can do that.
How about you? Yes. How about you? Hit me with it.
I have chosen one project, and I think the name itself is also interesting. So the project that I'm really anticipating to launch is called One Zabil. Right. So again, this is that mega project down by like the Trade Center roundabout area. I drive past it every single day. And recently they've started testing the lights as well. So for National Day, they had put up like a lot of National Day themed lights and things like that. Okay. And I was like, oh, I think it's ready. I was like, I think it's almost close to being launched.
How long has it been building? Like, how long?
They've been building for quite a few years now. Yeah. So it's supposed to launch at the end of this year. I think it'll most likely launch beginning of 2024. Okay. So it's a twin tower complex. Again, mega project. The one and only is going to have a resort there.
Oh,
There's going to be residences. There's going to be hotel apartments. There's going to be a studio hotel as well.
Yeah.
On top of that, it is an iconic building because it's located kind of in the midst of the Burdubai area and then Sheikh Zayed as well, right? So prime real estate right next to Zabil Park.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to all of this, it's home to the world's longest cantilever. So if you've seen this building,
the world's longest what?
Cantilever. So it's basically like a podium level that they've elevated about 100 floors.
Oh, wow.
100 feet, something like that. It's massive. So it's 2 towers and then they have the podium in the middle.
Okay.
It actually looks very scary. Like in the sense that from the outside, I don't understand, like the architects have done an amazing job in actually stabilizing that build.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a...
Is this going to be one of those places where they have the seafood,
I don't know if they will have the
seafood glass?
I don't know if they will have the seafood glass.
Like at the Dubai frame, if you've been up there, which is the weirdest thing ever, because like you go to step on it and there's like these kind of these primal instincts kick in you. It's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm okay with those. I've done that.
I did do it, but I did it tentatively.
So that's going to be really interesting. Again,
really
another
cool.
world record right there, right? Mm. So that's another building that kind of adds on to Dubai's unique skyline. So enough about property now. We'll come back to it at the end.
Yes, that we will.
That we will. But speaking of, I think, iconic addresses in the UAE, is there some kind of activity or destination or place that you'd want to go, Richard, that you haven't gone yet?
Okay, so I've remembered what my second one was. I know I'm supposed to be having one for this. I keep breaking the rules. Sorry, guys. But so I was going to have one, but then there was another one I was thinking about, then I kind of forgot about it and all that. But I'm back. Right? I'm back with it. So my first one is slightly odd one, I would say, but I like my kind of abandoned stuff, right? Stuff that
spooky, very
spooky. Yeah, like kind of villages that have been abandoned back in the day. So recently on the blog we wrote a piece about the village in Ras Al Khaimah,
Jazira Al Hamra.
Yeah, which was a pearling village up until the late 1960s, and then basically deserted because people moved elsewhere. It's still there. It's still, it's derelict, and obviously it's got some wear and tear, but it's quite big apparently as well. And early in the new year, I think they're going to have an art exhibition there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so with the pieces of art will be within the buildings and stuff like that.
Okay. So less spooky.
Yeah,
cultural.
Yeah.
Nice.
Spooky plus cultural. Yeah. And my second one is very, very different. This is the...
is it more Dubai?
It is very much so, yeah. It's the Address Beach Resort, which is the one down by Marina.
Yes,
and
JBR.
And they've got that infinity pool at the top. Now, it was, I think, the world's highest. I don't know if it's been overtaken now, because previously it was the one in Singapore, but I think this overtook that, but maybe this one's been overtaken. I don't know. But whatever way, it's a very high infinity pool.
Now, moving on to my sort of itinerary of things left to experience in the UAE. The place that I actually want to go to is a moving place. I want to go on a cruise that departs from Dubai or Abu Dhabi and kind of goes around different countries, ideally within the GCC, if I have time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd actually take that cruise liner maybe to Europe or somewhere else.
Wow.
But essentially, yeah, the goal is to go on a cruise liner from Dubai or Abu Dhabi and see how that whole experience is, have that whole onboard journey.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. And again, you get to experience the city from a different sort of point of view, right? Because again, you're at sea and you're kind of going around all of the different landmarks and things like that. So I think that would be very nice.
That would be fantastic. What countries would that take in then? Like,
yeah, so there are certain options. You can go to like Italy, or you can go to Malta. You can go to other countries like
the
that.
GCC
Greece.
ones. So
For the GCC ones, it's generally Oman, Qatar, Saudi.
nice.
So it's a nice little trip around.
Yeah,
and yeah. If I had to choose a local option, I have not been to Alen in a long time. So we used to go a lot when I was younger, and I would love going to the hot springs. They've recently redeveloped that whole. Well, I say recently. For me, it's been recently, but over the last couple of years, they have redeveloped that whole area, and I think that would be interesting to see because again, Alen is like a whole oasis outside of the UAE. It's so green. There are so many like
literally an oasis.
Yes, literally an oasis. There are so many like nature-inspired things there. And the landscape is also gorgeous. It's a small town, but I would like to go back there.
Nice. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, actually. I haven't been to our lane probably in about 5 or 6 years now. And even since in that time, a lot of stuff has happened down there. A lot has opened. But I don't think it will ever lose its charm in the way of its, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a lovely place, and it's somewhere that I haven't visited as much as I feel like I should have done. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Road trip time. We will maybe do the podcast from Alen one day.
That's it. Yeah. Be from the hot springs themselves.
Yes, that would be fun.
Cool. I'm liking your choices. Good stuff.
Yes, I like my choices too. I like yours as well, Richard. It's
mine are better, but you know, no, they're not. Yours are way better, way better. I'm just joking.
This is not a competition at all.
No, this is true. This is true.
What instead will be a competition is, I think, one, our New Year's resolution and how we will be able to stick to it.
Yes. This is a good point.
So for me, for my New Year's resolution, one, it's not something that I actively do. Because I feel like you should be doing this throughout. But if I had to choose one sort of personal goal of mine that I want to fulfill, again, I'm going big. It is a New Year's resolution. I want to buy a house.
Woohoo.
Buy my house. Now, this New Year's resolution, considering the property market and how it's been going crazy, I think it's going to be my New Year's resolution for maybe 6 to 8 years.
So this New Year's resolution comes with caveats, and one of those caveats being can be carried over. Yes.
So I think maybe my New Year's resolution would be to maybe save up 15% of that buying a house goal. If I had to break it down.
Down payment.
For the down payment, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it's something that I think, if it's not on your radar, it's worth having on your radar, just to have an idea, be feasible
for you or not,
and always keep an eye on the market, and we know where you can always keep an eye on the market.
Yes, and you should always use tools like the Buy transactions. Shameless plug here.
It is a shameless plug, but it's valid.
Yes.
It's valid.
And it's a very effective tool. You can actually see what the rental history has been like for a specific unit, a specific area. You can take a look at the sales trends if you're looking to buy as well. So you can kind of compare, okay, fine, if rents were kind of increasing or decreasing this way, does the sales price kind of match up? And what are the sort of trends in that area for you to understand in the future as well, if you're looking to buy?
Look, this is people going to say, like, a guy works for Bayut and he's talking, he's bigging up a Bayut product, but genuinely, I think it is a really, really useful tool, right? Because the data, we should say as well, the data is sourced directly from Dubai Land Department, right? So this is 100% accurate on the now, right? So you can see, like, for example, the apartment community that I live in, I can see the recent transactions that have taken place, so I can see how much people are paying for 1 beds, 2 beds, buying and renting and stuff. That kind of insight.
It makes it easy, right, for you to understand.
Yeah, completely. So it's a valuable tool.
Yes, it is. So yeah, if you are like Richard or I, definitely do make use of that. But yeah, what is your actual New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution, right? Okay, so for our long-term listeners, stroke watchers, hello, that one person. Last year, I said that one of my New Year's resolutions was I wanted to learn Orabesh, which is this is so geeky. I apologise in advance, but I am a geek. So what can you do? You know, I just need to wear it. Really, I'm a geek.
Yeah.
So Orabesh is the language in Star Wars. It's a written language. If you'll see it, if you watch the shows or the movies, you'll see it all over the place, right? And that was one of my New Year's resolutions coming into this year, and I was doing all right. I was about 7 or 8 letters in.
Okay.
Around about kind of May time, June time.
Okay, not bad.
Because I was playing a video game as well, a Star Wars video game, which had the Orabesh in it. So I was even recognising the letters, getting some words and all that. It was all going very well. And then I dropped it like a stone. I don't know. Like, other things started happening in my life. I started... things got busy, and maybe I started playing other video games. Who knows? But it just dropped.
With no Orabesh, is that the right way to say
it?
Orabesh.
So it's Aurebesh.
Orabesh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How many letters are there in this Orabesh?
Same as that. So basically, it's every letter in our alphabet has an equivalent. It's like a sign. It's like a little sign. So basically, it's 26, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 20. There's a few little bits of grammar and stuff as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was on my way, but then it dropped off my radar. So I need to get back on that. So yeah, I'm gonna by the end of 2024, I'm gonna be fluent in Orabesh, which will do me absolutely no good whatsoever. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, Happy New Year to you as well, Richard, and to everybody that is watching online.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions or feedback or anything else that you want to share, maybe you want to share your New Year's resolutions with us, please do so in the comments. And if you want any more information about anything that we've mentioned, so if it's anything to do with living in the UAE, you can definitely find that on mybayut. So that's Bayut.com /mybayut. If you're interested in learning more about the property market and about pricing trends, definitely check out the Buy Transactions, which is Bayut's market intelligence sort of section. And yeah, that's basically it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Cheers, guys.
You're listening to the Watercooler Edit with Chris and Rich.